There we go. Hello, everybody. Let's officially begin. My name is Mugi. I'm a marketing executive at PRIFE International, and I'm here as part of PRIFE 101, here to present to you on PRIFE International's ranking strategy in a special segment that we have titled Leveling Up. So one of the cool things about the direct selling industry and everyone's involvement in direct selling is that different people come into this industry, and in fact, different people come into this company for different reasons. If you look at statistics, right, 80% of our members tend to be end users, meaning they become a member in PRIFE International in order to get the product, in order to get the device, so they can own it and use it for their health. However, there's a lot that PRIFE International has to offer. I mean, as far as the business goes, PRIFE International through the back office is an international sales business that, as I have said in my previous meetings, direct selling being essentially amateur advertising, if you are then capable of advertising the products in PRIFE International to people all over the world, then you are then able via the back office to have the products delivered to almost every country in the world. There are some countries that we have country stockists in, some countries that we have official branches in, some countries where we just have a presence, like a neighboring country can drop you the product. And if you have a client in a country that is not in the list of the 77 countries that PRIFE officially has a presence in, then, well, you can in fact even order through PRIFE International's international registration, where the products would be sent from Malaysia, and you would just kind of have to pay like the customs fees and stuff like that. So PRIFE International also offers an amazing financial prospect, an amazing income earning prospect, whether it is part-time income or full-time income. For those of us who choose to do this business, there's significant financial reward in there. However, on top of that, there's also other kinds of rewards that PRIFE has to offer. For example, PRIFE has different kinds of ranking. And the cool thing about ranking is that why go through ranks? I mean, in PRIFE International, as you start to level up and as you start to get into higher ranks that I'll be talking about, you will in fact be making money. You have the iElite one-time ranking rewards. And at the same time, we also have the um, global profit sharing, which is a percentage of the company's international global sales. So, how this next hour is going to go, I'm first going to walk through the slides. I'm going to walk through the slides, and we're going to go through what are the ranks in PRIFE International and how to achieve them. That is probably going to take about half an hour. I am going to sketch out the difference between people in your placement hierarchy and people in your sponsorship hierarchy. Ranking depends on sponsorship hierarchy. And then we're going to go back to the whiteboard, and then we're going to take a look at how can we plan our business in order so to earn both money and at the same time to go up in rank, which is financially rewarding, like I mentioned, but also at the same time very emotionally rewarding. Like it is the recognition of your hard work and how you have spent your time in PRIFE. So ranking is valuable financially, emotionally, and we're gonna go through all of that. So if all of you are ready, then we are going to begin. So before we start, I'm just gonna check in on the chat. Hi, Teddy. How are you? So nice to hear from you. Hi, everybody. If you guys are dialing in from an interesting place, just drop a note in the chat. It'll be nice to know how many people are joining us today. When it comes to ranking rewards in the marketing plan, like I said, 80% of people who join PRIFE are mainly in it for the products. But if you're in it for the rank, if you're in it to discover how ranking can serve you, then, well, you're at the right place. So first going to the slides. Okay. Hi, Mahiet, from Sydney, Australia. Nice to have you check in with us. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to close the whiteboard and I want to start sharing this screen. Okay, So first things first, we are going to look at the actual different ranking available in PRIFE International. Let's go through them one by one. The very first rank that people achieve is the rank of future star. So PRIFE ranking has two kind of categories. First, we have the star rankings, and then we have the director rankings. Star rankings are like your level one rankings, and the director rankings are like your higher level rankings. We start off with the rank of future star, and then going into one-star manager, two-star manager, and three-star manager as part of the star rankings. And I am just going to mute everybody here. So I'm going to stop you guys from unmuting yourself. And if you guys have any questions, do like drop it in the chat, and I will allow you guys to unmute yourself later so we can have a question and answer sessions. But first, let's take a look at this. The first rank is the rank of future star. And what you see on the screen is something that I really do have to clarify, where achieve in your first group is 2000 PV and your second group 2000 PV within one calendar month, and you get the rank of Future Star and a Future Star certificate. So I guess before going any further deeply into the rank, let's clarify what we mean by group and how does group come to play when we're talking about rankings. Okay, let me go back to my whiteboard so I can sketch something out for you guys. Okay, so I just want to check in that all of you can see my whiteboard. What do we know about PRIFE International? We know that PRIFE International is a company where as you find customers who want to purchase the product, you can sign them under you. And by signing them under you, you're going to get income, right? So this is what a lot of us understand when it comes to the PRIFE International income. So first we have, let me get this straight. Okay. Okay. So I picked up a tab so I can draw stuff nicely, but I'm just still figuring out how this works. So let's go. Okay. All right. This is you. This is what a lot of people know about PRIFE International. When you sign up your first sponsor on the left, A, and you have another person here on the right, B, you get, if you sponsored A and B, you're going to get the sponsor bonus and the sponsor product point. But even if you did not sponsor A and you did not sponsor B, you know you're going to get the level pairing. So in PRIFE International, income, especially the pairing incomes, level pairing and group pairing, is just based on what we call your placement hierarchy. And this is your placement hierarchy. This is where you place people in your network. And as you know, for placement, you can place people under your downlines and your upline can place people under you, and you will still get the level pairing and group pairing, which is what makes PRIFE International really cool. So for a lot of people, sorry, for everybody, because this is a binary style marketing plan, we are only allowed two direct downlines. And we know this. So we have to place one guy here in A, and we have one more space to place someone here in B, and the next person has to go somewhere here. And as long as we go down level by level, we get level pairing. And as we go after level 4, we get a group pairing. Okay, so for income, for level pairing, for group pairing, like I said, it doesn't matter who the sponsor is, as long as they're in your placement hierarchy. But as we also know, we can also sponsor people into the business. If anyone that we directly sponsor, we get the sponsor bonus of 20 USD, and the sponsor, excuse me, still figuring out the tab thing. Okay. And we get the sponsor product point for 70 USD. These are for the people that we sponsor. So the experience that many people would have had is, okay, how do I clear this? Oh, I can do that. Okay. So the experience that many people would have had is this. They would have joined as a member over here. And if they sponsored someone, the first person that you sponsor falls on the left. Or for a lot of people, they would have had their upline continue to sponsor people underneath them. So a lot of people would find themselves with like people in their left leg. And when you sponsors their first person, they would automatically be placed U1 here, and then they can sponsor U2 here, get one level of level pairing. They can sponsor U3 here, get one level of level pairing. They can sponsor U4 here, get another level of level pairing, and so on. This is the placement hierarchy. But what I want us to understand is that now we are not talking about the placement hierarchy. We are talking about something else that we call the sponsor hierarchy. And here's how it works. And I want everyone to be very, very clear in this difference because this difference is vital. If you do not understand what I'm talking about, ask me a question in the chat. I will stop and explain this again. So, placement hierarchy, we only have two people, our left leg and our right leg, immediately under us. And even if we find the third person, we got to place them somewhere here. And as we place them, we get level pairing, group pairing, and so on. However, you can also redraw this in a sponsor hierarchy, meaning this is you once again, and maybe I'm going to use a different colored pen for this one. So we see the difference. I'm going to use blue, all right, dark purple. Dark purple is sponsor hierarchy. Okay, there we go. Ta-da, ta-da, okay. So every single person that you have directly sponsored can be redrawn in the sponsor hierarchy as one level of your sponsorship. So looking at this specific example, right? Like this is you signed up, your upline placed A, your upline placed B, and then you decided to sponsor someone for the first time. So you sponsored U1, and then you sponsored U2, getting a level pairing for A and U2. You sponsored U3, getting a level pairing for B and U3, and C, and then you sponsored U4, getting a level pairing between U1 and U4. If you were to redraw this in your sponsor hierarchy, it will look like this. You have directly sponsored U1, you have directly sponsored U2, you have directly sponsored U3, and you have directly sponsored U4. This is not your placement hierarchy. I'm just like super clarifying this. I know I'm like repeating myself over and over again, but it is vital that you understand this difference. When you talk about your hierarchy, your placement, your income, your network in PRIFE International, you're looking at this. You're looking at your placement hierarchy. But we can redraw this as a sponsor hierarchy with all of the people that we have sponsored in the first level. Let's say we have personally sponsored 20 people, then we would have 20 people in the first level of our sponsor hierarchy. You get the idea. If you understand this, type yes in the chat, just so I can make sure that you're getting my point and I can like not repeat myself that much. If you get what I'm talking about, drop it in the chat. So in this case, if U1 were to then sponsor someone else, if let's say U1 brings U11 here, then U11 would come here, meaning U1 has sponsored U11. Okay, I see a bunch of yeses. You guys are getting this. I'm going to be less repeaty and move on. All right. And if U2 sponsors someone, then U21 would be here. If U2 sponsors 20 guys, all 20 people would be here. And then if this guy sponsors another guy, it's here. You guys get the idea. Okay. So when we're looking at the uni-level income, And by the way, Kevin, I will touch base with you about the maintenance question you asked me last week. It's in my head. I will email you after this. So when we talk about the uni-level income, this is what we're talking about. When we say if you have, for every DPSG that has 10 people maintaining their account, you get an additional 2 generations. If this sounds like Greek to you, then I guess like listen to my talk last week where I spoke about the marketing plan. But or maybe I'll show the slides later just to make sure everyone's on the same page. But when we talk about the generations of uni-level income, this is what we're talking about. Every person that you have directly recruited is your first generation. Every person that they have recruited, everyone that you have recruited, every person that they directly recruit is your second generation. Every single person that the people in your second generation recruit, all of them come in your third generation. So when we talk about 20 generations of uni-level income, we are not talking about 20 levels on the placement hierarchy. We are talking about every single person that you sponsored being your first generation, every single person that they sponsor being in your second generation, and so on. So you can understand that if most people that you, let's say you sponsor 10 people, and out of that 10 people, 2 people sponsor another 10 people, and out of those 20 people, 10 people sponsor another 10 people, and out of the 100 people, you already have 100 people in your third generation. So that is why we keep saying that uni-level income has a potential to be huge, because you're not limited to 20 times 2 here. You're limited to literally 20 generations of sponsorship. So that's for the uni-level bonus. However, when it comes to ranking, this is what we got to know. When we talk about the groups in ranking, the person that you have sponsored, you won, and every single person within this sponsor hierarchy is what we call one DPSG, or direct personal sponsor group. So every single person that you have directly sponsored in this business ends up becoming their own group in and of themselves when you look at the sponsor hierarchy. And so when we talk about going back to the future star ranking, when we talk about being a future star, where you need 2 direct personal sponsor groups, each of them having a 2000 PV minimum, we mean that, I'm going to change the color so it's more like striking. There we go, dark red. Arr. This guy and every single person that he sponsors and every single person that they sponsor and so on in under one direct personal sponsor, him or her and their entire sponsor hierarchy needs to finish 2000 PV, and another person that you have directly sponsored and their entire hierarchy needs to finish 2000 PV in order for you to become a future star. So when I first joined this company, I was not like super aware of this fact. So when I was signing up people, what I ended up doing was that as I was helping people sign up, every single person that they sponsor, I end up sponsoring directly under them. So for my father, for example, when I was helping him sponsor people, he sponsored 23 people, and I have sponsored all 23 people with him as the direct sponsor, thinking, oh yeah, that's how you make money, right? Sponsor bonus, sponsor product point, placement level by level, so there's level pairing. But all 23 people have ended up being, each one of them, different individual DPSGs. So going back and looking at Future Star is 2000 PV and 2000 PV, right? In each DPSG. Technically, the total of this is 4000 PV, right? And each classic is 200 PV. So this essentially ends up being 10 classic devices in one DPSG, and 10 classic devices in another DPSG. If you're going for classic, if you're going for like a pro, that's one unit, it really is up to you. So if, let's say, what you need to do is Future Star, and you look at it as to finish Future Star, you need to bring 10, 10, 20 classic devices. And if you directly sponsor 20 people, each of them buying one classic device, that does not equate to 4,000 PV and therefore Future Star. It does equate to 4,000 PV, but what it equates to is you having 20 DPSGs, each one with 200 PV. And this is not how you become Future Star. You become Future Star when you have two DPSGs, each one of them having 10 units under them, meaning you sponsored one person here, and this person and whoever they sponsor, and whoever they sponsor, and whoever they sponsor, and whoever they sponsor, and so on, there has to be 10 units of classics or 2000 PV or just like 1 unit of premium or something along those lines in order for you to get 2000 PV in this DPSG, and you need to then do the same with another person that you sponsor and everybody underneath them. You don't get to combine everyone that you have sponsored and just qualify by volume and get the ranking. So before I move on, I just want to clarify. Do we now understand that ranking is given via direct personal sponsor groups, which means each individual person that you directly sponsor and each person that they sponsor underneath them, and so on and so on, each individual person that you sponsor and the people underneath them, if you do 2000 PV in that and 2000 PV via another person, that's how you become Future Star. So Uncle Sam has understood that. Thank you, Uncle Sam. Um, let's see, who else? How about the rest of you guys? Are we clear on this fact? If we are, drop me a yes. Hi, Mimi. Thank you for clarifying that you understand. And thank you for allowing me to move on. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all the yeses. Now you guys get it. Okay, so I'm going to switch real quick back to the slide so we can just officially take a look at all of the different rankings. And then the moment we walk through the actual rankings, I'm going to go back to the whiteboard and start drawing out two different styles of strategies. One strategy if you're starting new, and another strategy if you're already quite established in this business, but did not quite understand this whole DPSG thing, and now you want to plan for your ranking. So if we're good with that, I am going to share slides. I'm going to close the whiteboard, go back to the ranking stuff, and share. Oops, that didn't happen the way I thought it would. Okay. So if everyone can see my screen, drop me a yes, drop me a thumbs up, communicate a little bit. Thank you. And I'm going to assume you guys can see this. Okay. So the rank of Future Star is when you have two groups, two direct personal sponsor groups, each one with 2000 PV. So one person that you directly sponsor and everyone underneath them, 2000 PV in 1 month. Two of those groups in 1 month and you get a Future Star. Okay, so having gotten Future Star, what do you get when you become a Future Star? Well, you get a cool badge and you get a certificate, which is pretty cool. Like, I mean, it's a badge and it's a certificate. But when we go on to the next stage, here's where you just start getting financially rewarded as well. So the first group and second group here refers to the same thing, refers to your direct personal sponsor groups. So when one direct personal sponsor group, meaning one person that you directly sponsor and everyone underneath them does 10,000 PV, and another one of these groups does 10,000 PV in 1 calendar month, you are given the rank of 1-star manager, and you get a badge, you get a certificate, and you get as a one-time bonus 300 US dollars in your register wallet that you can then use to register people. So if someone's buying a device from you and they're paying you cash, you can keep the cash and use the 300 USD in your register wallet to register the person. So it's essentially like cash value. And then If you ask me, one-star manager is like the hardest ranking to achieve because you got to get two people that you've directly sponsored and everyone underneath them to do 10,000 PV in one calendar month. But as we go to the next rank of two-star manager, it starts to become easier. So when you're a two-star manager, you need two DPSGs, each one being one-star manager. So one guy that you sponsor, him, and so one guy that you sponsor, he needs to build two DPSGs underneath him or her. And when that person that you sponsor becomes one-star manager, and you have two people that you have sponsored who have finished one-star manager, then you have become a two-star manager. And why I say two-star manager is easier than one-star manager is because one-star manager, you got to finish this in one calendar month. But if you have already become a one-star manager and now you have selected two of your direct sponsors to get them to finish one-star manager, you don't need to do this in one calendar month. You can take your time. You can have one person that you've directly sponsored becoming one-star manager in this month, and then the other person taking their time becoming like they need to finish one-star manager in 1 month, but both of your DPSGs don't need to do that in the same month, is my point. So the other guy can take the next month or the month after that, plan it out, work it out, and become a one-star manager. And the moment you have sponsored two people that have become one-star manager, you become a two-star manager with a one-time bonus of 600 USD in your register wallet. And as that goes, when as you have those two, maybe those two DPSGs, maybe different DPSGs, that doesn't really matter. As long as you have two people that you've directly sponsored who have become two-star manager without a time limit, then you become a three-star manager and you get the manager recognition badge and more importantly, a one-time bonus of 900 USD in your register wallet. And then this is the end of the star ranking. And after this, we start to go into the director rankings, which start giving you a percentage of the company's global profit sharing as well. And these are all named after precious jewels. Crown Ambassador is a Crown Ambassador, but like Sapphire Director, Ruby Director, Pearl Director, Emerald Director, Diamond Director, and topping it off as a Crown Ambassador. To become a Sapphire Director, you need to have created two three-star managers in two direct personal sponsor groups. So if you have only sponsored two people, then you can go all the way up to Sapphire Director, where not only do you get the badge and the cert, you also get 0.1% of the company's global sales, assuming that these two groups that have become three-star manager in order for you to become Sapphire Director are able to achieve 30,000 PV in one group and 10,000 PV in another group in that calendar month for you to get the 0.1%. When you become Sapphire Director, you get the 1,000. Hi, I sorry, just to clarify, the uni level bonus, I made a reference to the uni level bonus because that was based on the generations in your sponsor hierarchy. So I was doing the example where you can get uni level overriding for up to 20 generations of your sponsor hierarchy. But the rankings are all on the vertical. Each person that you directly sponsor is a direct personal sponsor group. And when you have two people that you've directly sponsored become three-star manager, that's when you become a Sapphire Director with a one-time bonus of 1,500 USD and 0.1% of global profit sharing, assuming that those two groups have done 30,000 PV and 10,000 PV in that calendar month. So once you get a rank, you cannot go down in rank. You are that rank forever and ever. So let's say you become a Sapphire Director and 1 month you have two direct personal sponsor groups that have achieved 30,000 and 10,000. that month you get the 0.1% of the company's global profit sharing of that specific month. Let's say the next month you fail to do the 30K and 10K. It means that that month you do not get the profit sharing. But if in the month after that, your two direct personal sponsor groups manage to do 30K and 10K, then you will get global profit sharing. So global profit sharing is a monthly payout depending on your direct personal group's achievements for that month. But the moment you become Sapphire director, you are given the one-time bonus of 1,500 USD in your register wallet. And if you become a Ruby, and to become a Ruby director, now you need to have three-star managers from three direct personal sponsor groups. So if you have only sponsored two people and every other person in your sponsor hierarchy comes under these two people, then you can go all the way up to Sapphire director. After you achieve this rank, you can sponsor then a third person, get that guy to go up to three-star manager, and then you become a Ruby director, and where you get the badge, certificate, and 3,000 US dollars as a one-time bonus in your register wallet. And once you become a Ruby director, in any month where you have three direct personal sponsor groups that have achieved 30,000 in one group, 30,000 in one group, and 10,000 in the other group, you qualify for 0.2% profit sharing from the global sales of that month. And to become a Pearl director, now you need four three-star managers from four direct personal sponsor groups. At this point, you get 4,500 USD in your register wallet. And for the months where you have four direct personal sponsor groups doing 30K, 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 and 10K, you get 0.3% of the company's global profit sharing. To become an Emerald director, now you need to have five three-star managers from five direct personal sponsor groups. If you have this, then you become then you become an Emerald director, and you get a one-time bonus of 6,000 USD. And in the months that where your direct personal sponsor groups, five of them, they do 30K, 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 and 10K within one calendar month, then you get 0.4% of the company's global profit sharing. And like I said, the one-time payout is you get it the moment you hit the rank. And in the month that your groups are able to achieve these sales, you get, for that month, you get the global profit sharing. And for Diamond Director, you need six three-star managers from six direct groups, where upon achieving this rank, you are given 8,000 USD as a one-time bonus. You get the badge and the cert. And on months where your six groups do 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, and 10, you get 0.5% of the company's global profit sharing. And the top rank. So over here, it takes a jump from 6 to 8. So when you have eight three-star managers from eight direct personal sponsor groups, okay, I will clarify the difference between this and the uni-level bonus later, and I will answer that question. Okay, so Crown Ambassador, when you have eight direct personal sponsor groups and eight of them, like you can, like if you think about it, you can have as many direct personal sponsor groups as you want. You have no limit in sponsoring people. So if you so desire, you can sponsor 100 people directly under you, and then you would have 100 different direct personal sponsor groups. And if out of that 100 direct personal sponsor group, eight of them, eight people that you've directly sponsored, or eight people in that network have become three-star managers, then you become a Crown Ambassador, which is a top rank given in PRIFE International. You get a one-time bonus of 16,000 US dollars paid out to your register wallet, and you get 0.6% of the company's total global profit sharing in the months where you have eight direct personal sponsor groups doing 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, and 10K within one calendar month. And there you have it. that is the top rank in PRIFE International, the rank of Crown Ambassador. To get to Crown Ambassador, you go through Diamond Director, Emerald Director, Pearl Director, Ruby Director, Sapphire Director, 3-star Manager, 2-star Manager, 1-star Manager, and you would begin this journey by becoming a future star. So, worldwide profit sharing, just some qualifications. Qualification achievement is required within 1 calendar month to be eligible for profit sharing. What this is referring to is what you see here. To get the profit sharing, you need to do this 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, and 10K in 1 calendar month. And then in that calendar month, you get the 0.6% of global profit sharing. If you have a month where you can't do this, no big deal. You're just not going to get the global profit sharing for that month. But if you can do it again the next month, you get the global profit sharing again. It does not have to be the same groups that do this 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, and 10K in 1 calendar month. You can have 8 different groups doing this each month. And as long as you can do this, you get this percentage. And it's the one-time bonus is paid out to you the moment you hit the rank. Profit sharing is calculated monthly based on the calendar month, like I've explained. And essentially, if you go up in rank like super fast for the director ranks, like if you become like Emerald Director and Diamond Director in the same month, you're going to get the Diamond Director ranking, like the Diamond Director percentage, and not like both of them. You get the highest rank and the highest percentage. So there is the technical details of the ranking and rewards and see you at the top and all of that. But now, going back to clearly answering all of your questions, I'm going to go back to the whiteboard presenting. Okay, and once again, if you can see my whiteboard, just like drop me a yes. All right. So this is what I'm talking about and why I brought up the uni level bonus. So going back one step and looking at the marketing plan. And this is information you already know, but we're just going to go over it. For every person that you sponsor, and there we go. For every person that you sponsor, you get the sponsor bonus of 20 USD, BSD, 20 USD. Okay. And then you get the sponsor product point of 70 USD. These are the sponsor bonus and the sponsor product points. That is one category of bonuses. The next category is when your placement goes down level by level. For every level you go down, you get the level pairing of 80 USD. All of this is assuming that the members here are classics, right? They're all coming in as a silver package. Of course, if it's gold, it's going to be higher. If it's diamond, it's going to be higher. But I'm just going off the numbers for the classic because that's what's in my head right now. And level pairing is 80 USD per level. And group pairing starts from the 4th level. And group pairing gives you the reward for every member, not including the level pairing, everyone else that comes in, you get group pairing. Assuming your rank is a silver, you get 8% of that with a maximum of 300 USD per day. So this is the second category of bonuses where you have your level pairing and your group pairing. And sponsor bonus, sponsor product point, you get from anyone that you sponsor. If you directly sponsor 100 people, you're going to get 100 sponsor bonuses and 100 sponsor product points. Level pairing and group pairing are based on the development of your placement hierarchy, which is where you're only allowed 2 direct downlines, and for every level you go down, you get level pairing, and when you go wide, you get group pairing. And third, we have the DPSG bonuses, which is the direct personal sponsor group bonuses. And I'm going to just go through them and then like go into detail where you have your uni level bonus, sorry, where you have your leadership bonus, and then you have your uni level bonus, and then you have your global profit sharing and the ranking bonuses. Okay. So what is the difference between this and the sponsor hierarchy? This I'm going to clarify because it is important and vital for me that all of you understand this. Ooh, this is cool. Okay. So going back to going back to placement. Wait, how to do this? Okay. Okay. Going back to placement. Sorry, I'm still fiddling with this. Okay. So when you place people in your network, you're going to be placing them like this. You are only allowed two direct downlines. They can sponsor two people. They can each sponsor two people, and so on. This is placement. So this is you. Let's say you have sponsored three people, and let's say you have sponsored A, and you have sponsored B, and then you need to drop C somewhere, right? You haven't dropped C yet, but then A goes on to sponsor A1, and then A sponsors A2 over here, A sponsors A3 over here, and then you, and then A sponsors A4 over here, and then A2 sponsors A21 over here, A2 sponsors A22 over here, and then you have sponsored A, you have sponsored B, and then you sponsor C, and you place C over here, and then B starts to sponsor someone, so that has to go on the bottom left, so B1, and then B sponsors B2, and then B sponsors, let's say, B3 over here, and then you go on to then sponsor D and place them over here for some reason. Let's say you do that, and then you place E over here. So are we clear that when it comes to placement for income, these are the limited choices that we have in placing people? We are only allowed two direct downlines, and each of them can only have two direct downlines, and so on. What I'm talking about is this. If we were to redraw this placement chart and take a look at it from the perspective of your sponsorship hierarchy, this is you. How many people have you directly sponsored here? You've sponsored A, you've sponsored B, you've sponsored C, and you've sponsored D. And you know what? In fact, since I'm done with the presentation, you guys can talk along with me. You are now allowed to unmute. So if you have any questions, stop me, ask me. Okay. So this is your placement. If let's say, for example, look at this case. This is B. Let's say you're B. You have not sponsored your first downline yet, but your upline has placed someone here under you. So C and B2 will give B level pairing, right? But if you were to draw this from the sponsor hierarchy, then you would redraw every single person that you have directly sponsored as one level of your sponsor hierarchy. So here you would have A, here you would have B because you sponsored A and B, but you also sponsored C by this logic. So here you would have C, and here you would have D. Let me take a look at that. We were told to place people on the left of the left leg and the left of the right leg. If that is still correct, that is still correct. I will come into why that is later. That is a level pairing strategy and not a ranking strategy. So now we're taking a look at ranking strategy. But yes, as you place people, you place one person on the left and on the right, and then you continue on the left. Always the left. Never place people on anyone's right. That's not fair. Always place people on the left. That's the best idea. But yes, now going back to this sponsor thing. So you sponsored A, B, C, and D. And what did I draw? A then sponsors A1, A sponsors A2, A sponsors A3, A sponsors A4, right? And then no one else does anything. A2 then proceeds to sponsor A21 and A22. B has sponsored B1 over here, B2 over here, and B3 over here. So B has sponsored B1, B2, and okay, let's say B2 has, we don't have a B3 because I'm running out of space here. Let's say B2 sponsors B21. So then you have B2 who has sponsored B21 over here. C has not sponsored anybody. D has not sponsored anybody. What did I draw here? E, I don't have space for E. So I'm going to call this guy B22. And then let's say B21 sponsors B211. You guys get my numbering system. And then you have B211. And okay, B1, B21, B211, B2, C didn't. Okay, let's say C sponsors one guy here, C1. So C1 has C1 and D didn't sponsor anybody. Okay, so do you see? Ignore all of this. Pretend you're B. Let's say you're B and you're just looking at your sponsor hierarchy. C is placed underneath you. Therefore, you're going to get the level pairing from C. If C has fallen on your fourth level and above, you're going to get the group pairing from C. You're not going to get the sponsor bonus because you didn't sponsor C. You're not going to get the sponsor product point because you didn't sponsor C. And C would not be under you when it comes to the sponsor hierarchy because you didn't sponsor C. You're going to get level pairing and group pairing, but not the sponsor tree bonuses. Okay, so Rosemary, when I mentioned uni-level earlier, this is what I was referring to. I'm going to go with green. Okay. So when you redraw your network chart through the perspective of the people that you sponsored and they sponsored, this is your sponsor hierarchy. And when uni-level bonus speaks about you getting an overriding in maintenance from 20 generations, the first generation refers to every single person that you have directly sponsored. If it's one, it's one. If it's two, it's two. If it's a million, it's a million. Second generation refers to every single person that you have sponsored for the first time directly sponsors. All of this becomes your second generation. The third generation is every single person that they then continue to sponsor. So in uni-level bonus, when we talk about you getting 20 generations of overriding, we don't mean 20 levels like this. We mean 20 generations of sponsorship hierarchy. Because if you directly sponsor 10 people, then you have 10 people in your first level. If out of the 10 people, only 2 people go on to sponsor people, but the 2 people sponsor 10 people each, then you have 20 people in your second generation. And if out of the 20 people, 10 people proceed to sponsor 10 people each, then you have 100 people in your third generation. That is why uni-level bonus can grow up to such a huge amount with more and more and more and more people joining your team via your sponsorship hierarchy. How that is connected to ranking and rewards that we are talking about today. Wait, hang on. Yes, so uni-level bonus is just that 3% overriding from the people who do maintenance in your sponsor hierarchy. So let's say this guy maintains, you get 3% of that. Let's say this guy maintains, you get 3% of that. Let's say this guy maintains, you get 3% of that. Let's say all of them maintain, you get 3% from all of them. And let's say all of them maintain, you get 3% from all of that. So since we're on the topic of uni level, I might as well clarify this. How you get those extra 2 generations, since each person that you directly sponsor, oh, cool. is a DPSG. So this one person that you sponsor and everyone under them is one direct personal sponsor group. So when you maintain, just you yourself maintain, and other people under you maintain as well, but when you maintain, you automatically qualify for 4 generations of overriding, meaning in 4 generations of people that do maintenance, you get 3% of that. When you have 10 people under this one guy and everyone that they have sponsored, when 10 people in this group have maintained their account, that's when you unlock those additional 2 generations and you now go down to 6 generations of sponsoring. And when you go to 20 generations, it is every single person that has maintained here. And you get 20 generations when each direct personal sponsor group has more than 10 people maintaining. And if you have up to 8 direct personal sponsor groups with up to 10 people in each direct personal sponsor group maintaining 30 USD, then you get 20 generations of overriding. And that is all that I'm going to talk to you about maintenance right now, because I'm going to go back to ranking and rewards, leveling up. So leveling up is essentially this. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. All right. So what you need is 2 direct personal sponsor groups, two direct personal sponsor groups. Okay, there we go. 2 direct personal sponsor groups. If each one does 2,000 PV in 1 month, either it doesn't have to be the ones immediately. It could be like maybe this guy and the people that he recruits, and this guy and the people that he and they recruit. If they do 2,000 PV in 1 month, two of them do 2,000 PV in 1 month, you become a future star. If 2 of them do 10,000 PV in 1 month, you become a 1-star manager. If 2 of them become 1-star manager without a time limit, you become a 2-star manager. When 2 of them do become 2-star manager with no time limit, you become a 3-star manager. When 2 of them become 3-star manager, you become a Sapphire director. So how is this important in terms of planning? Okay. Wow, I scribbled a lot. Okay. That's where we get to go into this. So remember how last time I spoke about why a lot of people who join PRIFE, they start with like 3 accounts or 5 accounts or 7 accounts, that there are advantages to that. So this is the advantage of starting with 3 accounts. So again, let's say you have planned on sponsoring 20 people in 1 month. You are capable of doing that. You can sell 20 devices in 1 month, and that is your go-to plan. That's what you're going to do. You're going to sell 20 devices in 1 month and become future star. If you sponsor all 20 people directly under you, then as you know, you would end up having 20 DPSGs, each one with 200 PV, and you don't become a future star. But if instead you sponsor you open your account, this is you, and then you sponsor 2 more accounts, let's call them U1 and U2. So why do we need to sponsor these 2 accounts? Because you should still go and sponsor those 20 people in order to become a future star if that was your strategy. But now all the people that you would have sponsored on the left make U1 the sponsor. All the people that you sponsor on the right, you make U2 the sponsor. The placement obviously would end up being The placement obviously would end up being something like this. Let's say you sponsor 20 people, you're going to place them like this in order for you to get the level pairing for 10 levels and so on. But when you redraw this and you look at your sponsor hierarchy, this is what you'll see. This is you. The U account has only directly sponsored U1 and U2. And then this is your first generation. If you sponsor 10 people directly under U1, then U1 would have 10 DPSGs. But this would all still fall under one DPSG over here and one DPSG over here. So you would have 2000 PV under U1 and 2000 PV under U2. Even though when you redraw the sponsor hierarchy, it would essentially end up looking like this. Why do this? Because part of your income is the sponsor bonus and the sponsor product point. If you only have one account, then you don't really have a choice. If for you to enjoy, if you're going to sponsor 20 people and you only have one account, you want to enjoy the 20 sponsor bonuses and 20 sponsor product points. So you're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to sponsor everybody under U1. Even though you can place them like this and get the level pairing and the group pairing, it's not going to help you with the rank. But instead, if you place them like this, then you can strategize, still get the 20 sponsor bonuses and 20 sponsor product points and 20 levels of level pairing for you. But also at the same time, now since you only have two DPSGs, U1 and U2, and everything is concentrated in here, you then become a future star. So if you have 2000, 2000, if you're a future star. If you have 10,000, 10,000, you become a one-star manager. And whether you do it through people that you directly sign up under U1, and if they then go on to bring more people, it doesn't matter that much, because as far as as far as the account U is concerned, you only has two DPSGs and everything is concentrated and focused under here. It doesn't matter if this gets messy down here, all of this is focused under U1 and U2. So if you are starting PRIFE International, if you're starting this business like brand new, right? And you want to strategize in a way that you go up in rank as well. Then what I would do if I was you is essentially this. I would open this account, call it U1, call this U, then I would sponsor U1 and U2, and then I would sponsor everyone else. On the left as U1 as the sponsor, because it's still your account, you get to access the account, you get to access the product points, it's still your money. And everyone on the right, I will make U2 the sponsor, which means that all of your effort is focused here. So far, so good. If you have sponsored two people directly under you, then as we saw earlier, you can go all the way up to the rank of Sapphire Director and 0.1% of the global profit sharing. If you want, at that point, you can sponsor a third person, U3, build a team under them, make them future star. You would still sponsor people, make them future star. Sorry, you can sponsor a third person, make them a 3-star manager, and then you can go on to Ruby Director, Emerald Director, and so on. The one thing that I really want to clearly, as clearly as I can, with as much love and humility as possible, I want to clearly explain that the sponsor hierarchy has nothing to do with your placement hierarchy. You would still place people on the left and on the left, on the right side and on the left side. You would place people to get your level pairing and your group pairing. The sponsor hierarchy has nothing to do with your level pairing and your group pairing, but it has everything to do with your ranking, which is what we're talking about today under level up ranking strategy. Okay, so how do you know how many DPSGs that you have? Let's say you joined this business a while back and you have like no clue. How do you find out? Well, this assumes that you have access to your back office. So here's how you would do. And just to show an example, I'm going to show you guys the example of some random person's back office, someone none of you know, in order. So it's like, I'm hopefully not sharing too much personal information here, but you guys have got to see it like in your back office. You've never had this ranking explained before. But you get it though, right? You get how ranking is like direct personal sponsor groups and not the hierarchy thing. So and the reason why I'm so repetitive about this is because even when I joined in this company in May, I was under the impression that ranking came from like, oh, you got to do 2000 on your left, you got to do 2000 on your right, and then you become a future star. But no, that has nothing to do with the case. Even if you have sponsored two people on one leg, so let's say your upline is building your left leg for you. Let's say when you started and then 3 months later, you look in the business, you have like 30, 40 people in your left leg. So the first person that you sponsor, you would have put them at the bottom of the left leg. And then the second person, third person, fourth person, you just continue parking them on the right leg. And then you get 30 levels of level pairing, right? Thanks to your upline. But all the people that you sponsor, the one person on the bottom left, let's say that's just a client, ignore that guy for the sake of my example. So let's say all the people that you actually sponsor, you're placing them on the right. Even if you have two people on your right leg in placement, do 2000 PV with them and the people that they sponsor, you still become a future star. Ranking does not matter. Ranking does not care about placement. Placement is independent of ranking. Now, how do you go find out about this? So, random person's back office, you guys don't need to know who this person is, but just this guy, okay? So, when you go here, you can see the number of people that you have sponsored directly. So, if you have sponsored 23 people directly under you, that means that you have 23 DPSGs under you. So, when you go to navigate, and you go look at your back office, you tend to see a few options. Oh, wait, I got to log in again. Like, I kind of wish that I have like a blank account to show you guys this stuff, but I don't. So we're slightly disrespectful of PDPA right now, the Personal Data Protection Act, but it's okay. This guy will forgive me. So the people you've directly sponsored are the number of DPSGs you have. It doesn't matter if you've directly sponsored 23 people. You need two people that you've directly sponsored and everyone that they've sponsored and so on to do 2000, 2000 for you to become a future star, 10,000, 10,000 for you to become a one-star manager. And how do you find this? So when you go to navigate in your back office, you would see these options here. And here you would find family hierarchy and placement hierarchy. Placement hierarchy is the thing that you guys are all familiar with. That is the placement for level pairing and group pairing and so on. And we wait as this loads. Okay, so this is your placement and so on as you'd recognize. But if we go to family hierarchy, here's where you can see all of the different DPSGs in your group. And because the ranking depends on one calendar month, here's how you have that start and finish dates. I did not mean to do that. Okay. You have your start and your finish date, so you can actually just filter out the sales that have come in for that calendar month. So when you have like this person, 23 DPSGs, and a lot of them are functional and active, You're going to have a lot of sales volume, but because that is not focused under 2 or 3 DPSGs, and it's all spread out under 23 DPSGs, it's going to be a lot harder for you to go up in rank. But rank is cool, but ranking also does not affect your level pairing and your group pairing. So if you're focused on income, then ranking is actually kind of like secondary-ish. But if you want ranking, then this is what you got to do. So as you can see, this will start to load because it's taking time because there's a lot of people here. So this is going to start to load all of the people in the sponsor hierarchy. So you know the numbers that you've seen in the numbers that you see in your front page, where, for example, like where you can see the total number of people in your network. That is the total number of people in your network, not the total number of people in your sponsor hierarchy. You could have 500 people in your network. All of them could be sponsored by your upline and his sponsor hierarchy, but that does not count as your direct personal sponsor group. So while you'll get level pairing and group pairing from that, you would not get the ranking from that. So I'm just going to close all of these. So what this shows is that every single person that you have directly sponsored falls directly under you as your first generation of DPSGs, right? And then every other people that they sponsor becomes your second generation and your third generation and so on. So if you want to filter by month to kind of see like where you are in terms of sales, you can filter it for the current month. You can change it for the month up, for the month before. Let's say if you want to look at the sales that you did for September alone, you can go from September 1st to the end of September, September 30th, hit search. So your ranking of silver does not depend on the number of people that you have registered under you. It depends on the device that you purchased or the account that you purchased when you came in. And as we all know, if you get a silver, if you buy a classic device, you're a silver member. If you buy a premium device or 3 classics, you're a gold member. And if gold member, and if you buy uh, a pro, you're a diamond member. So your ranking really does not depend on the number of people below you. It only depends on the device that you purchase or the kind of account that you purchase when you join this company. So when you filter by month, you can then see what were the group sales for that individual month. So for example, like this person, God, I hope he's not here. Is he here? Oh, he is here. Okay. Well, this person, hello. This person has, for example, achieved future star by signing up 2 diamonds underneath them. Therefore, when did they do this? They did this in October. They did this in August. So this person achieved future star by doing by getting 2 diamond accounts, which are 2000 PV, 2000 PV, and just directly sponsoring them. And as another example, this person became a future star by having 2 DPSGs clear 2000 PV and 2000 PV within the calendar month of September 1st to September 30th. So when you go to your back office, okay, when you go to your back office, that is how you see the people in your direct personal sponsor groups. When you go to the front and you see the number of people in your group, sorry, the number of people under your direct sponsor, those are the number of DPSGs that you have. And for you to find out what are the sales that each DPSG is doing, you would filter by the start of the month to the latest date or the end of the month. And then you can check for by each person that you've directly sponsored, what is the sales that they have done for that month. And then you can see below them how many people they have directly sponsored. And then you can go on from there to see how they are going to go up in rank. So the ranking, as I have said, is only dependent on the people that you've directly sponsored. And for you to go up in rank as future star, two people that you have directly sponsored need to either by themselves or with their team finish 2000 PV in that one calendar month. For you to become a one-star manager, two people that you have directly sponsored need to finish 10,000 PV and 10,000 PV within one calendar month. If you have sponsored 100 people, it does not combine together. Only two out of those 100 people that you have directly sponsored, two of those 100 people and their team needs to finish 2,000 for you to be a future star, or need to finish 10,000 for you to be a one-star manager. And these are the advantages of coming in and starting with 3 accounts. What are the advantages of coming in and starting with 5 accounts? Well, if you sign up, if you start with 5 accounts, then you have 4 direct personal sponsor groups. If you come in with you get 4 direct personal sponsor groups. You would have sponsored 4 people. So you would get 4 times the sponsor bonus, 4 times the sponsor product point, and 2 times level pairing. If you come in by sponsoring 7 people, if you come in with 7 people, then you would have 6 sponsor bonuses, 6 sponsor product points, and 3 levels of level pairing. So getting back into Rosemary's question, if the Reiko account upgraded to a diamond, then Reiko would get an additional 4% uh in group pairing. Yes, in group pairing, because the sponsor bonus, sponsor product point, and level pairing, it does not depend on what your rank is. It just depends on what is the account that you are sponsoring people in. If you sponsor people as a silver, you get the silver money. If you sponsor people as a gold and a diamond, you get the gold money and the diamond money. Where your individual rank comes into the picture is in the calculation of group pairing bonus. And I am probably gonna do a special class on group pairing bonus. I've got a bunch of questions as to how group pairing bonus works, and I may just do like a special Zoom session or explain a video and like sketch out group pairing bonus and really clarify that. But what you need to know, okay, profit sharing goes into your bonus wallet. Profit sharing is bonus wallet money. Well, the one-time bonus that you get for achieving the rank goes to your register wallet. The profit sharing that you get, the 0.1 to 0.6% from the director rankings that go into that you qualify for when your direct personal sponsor group do certain amount of business, those go into your bonus wallet. Okay. So group pairing, if you upgrade your account to become a gold or to become a diamond, where you get additional money out of it is that you would get that additional 4% overriding from your group share, from your group pairing bonus. Because if you're a silver, you get 8% from the group pairing volume. If you're a gold, you get 10% of the group pairing volume. And if you're a diamond, you get 12% of the group pairing volume. However, if you were to upgrade your account to Diamond, your sponsor, the person that sponsored you, would get the remainder of the sponsor, like, because the sponsor bonus for silver is 20 USD and the sponsor bonus for diamond is 200 USD, right? So If you upgrade your account from silver to diamond, then the person that sponsored you, they would get the remaining 180 US dollars sponsor bonus and the remaining whatever amount sponsor product point. That is the difference between the diamond sponsor bonus and sponsor product point and the silver sponsor bonus and sponsor product point. So if the people that you have sponsored upgrade their account, then you would get the remainder bonuses. So far, so good. Let me see you nod your head and give me a thumbs up if it's so far so good. All right, I see your thumbs ups. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Okay, we're like 20 minutes past time as usual. I'm not that great at being succinct, I guess. However, I'm gonna open up this space right now for questions, and you guys can unmute your mic and ask me your questions. So, first question that I have for all of you, and you can answer by either showing me a thumbs up or clicking on the thumbs up thing. Question number one: do you understand the difference between your placement hierarchy and your sponsor hierarchy? Okay, I see a thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Uh, Rosemary, is it clear for you? You're not giving me a thumbs up yet, and I'm looking at you.
No, she did do a thumbs up, but not very.
No, hang on. Just say that again. Just say it slowly.
It was a sideways thumbs up. Yeah.
It's like the difference between the sponsor and the
hierarchy placement.
Hierarchy placement. And that's what you've just been describing tonight.
Yep. The placement is where the placement hierarchy is what all of you think of when you think of your network. You know that you have two people below you and people below them and below them and below them. And when you go level by level, you get the level pairing. And when it goes wide, you get the group pairing. All of this comes from your placement hierarchy. But you can redraw that and just redraw every single person that you have directly sponsored into one level and people that they sponsor and so on, and that's your sponsor hierarchy.
Oh, that's what you call the sponsor hierarchy.
Yeah, that's what okay. I call it.
I'm just trying to get the names right. Yeah. So well, I've never heard that explained before.
Okay. I mean, I guess I remember last week you mentioned that we have like different names that we call different things. It can get a bit confusing. And I acknowledge that if you go to the back office under navigate, they don't call it a sponsor hierarchy. They call it the family hierarchy. But in my head, it makes more sense as a sponsor hierarchy because it's like the sponsor tree. And that clearly differentiates that the people in your placement that you did not sponsor are not a part of your sponsor hierarchy. So that's what I mean.
Okay.
And
now I do understand now. Now there's just the wording I didn't quite understand. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So that's the first thing. The second thing, are we all clear on how the ranking comes from each person that you have directly sponsored and the people below them doing that volume as one group? So if you have directly sponsored 20 people, you don't get to combine all of that to get the volume for your ranking. Even if you have sponsored 20 people, 2 of those 20 people and the people below them need to finish the minimum volumes, 2,000 for future star, 10,000 for 1 star required to go up in ranking. Are we all very clear about that? If yes, give me a thumbs up.
Yes, yeah, it's all clear. It's the first time I've actually heard the description of the DPSG, and that's clear. Yep.
Yep, direct personal sponsor group. Okay. And thirdly, I want to make sure that we understand that the ranking the volume we have to do.
I've just got a question.
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, it must be a delay. So if you don't do the sponsor yourself 3 times, if you don't you sponsor somebody else in you know, on your left leg and somebody on your right leg, is it advantageous to then sponsor under them so that you get the volume that way? So that let's say I sponsor Jane on my left leg and Jim on the right leg, and then I have other people to sponsor. Do I sign them up under Jane and Jim?
If you do that, you would lose out on the sponsor bonus and the sponsor product point.
Yes, I know
you
that.
would Yes, you would still get the level pairing and the group pairing and all of that in that placement, but you would lose out on the sponsor bonus and the sponsor product point. As a person who has a very sharp eye on the amount of money I'm making, I tend to not be as willing to lose out on money that way. But yes, you could do that as well.
Yeah.
Or if you think about it, you don't even need to have 3 accounts and do a lot of sponsoring by yourself. You could have sponsored Jim and James, and then if you work with Jim and James to help them sponsor 10 people each, or in their network, that still counts as 2 DPSGs.
Okay.
If you open 3 accounts, it's advantageous if you're planning on sponsoring a lot of people. That way you can place them in a way that you make your other 2 accounts as the sponsors, and therefore you get the sponsor bonus and the sponsor product point as well.
I wish I'd have known that when I joined, because I had no idea about that.
I wish I had known that when I joined, because I had no idea of that as well. So we're kind of on the same boat here. But I get it. I'm sure if you look at your back office, you have directly sponsored a lot of people.
I have.
Yes. A lot of like that's what we do, because in my head when I started, I was like, well, of course I want all the money in one account. That makes sense to me. But the ranking thing is a later thing. But also, like, I have tried to I've tried to gaslight myself. If I'm being honest, I'm like, oh, ranking isn't that important. Money is the main thing. So I'm like trying to make myself feel good about that. But if for people who understand this from the beginning and they plan out their strategies, it works quickly. And to be honest, it's not really too late if you suddenly decide you want to sponsor another 10, 20 people. You could just sponsor one person directly under your main account and have that be like your second account, and sponsor everyone else under them, making the second account as a sponsor so you can access the money as well.
Well, I've actually got 5 accounts now, but they're all over the place. They're not directly underneath me now. So yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, even if they're not directly underneath you, as long as you're aware and you're keeping track of who's being the sponsor of what, you can still use five accounts, maybe focus on 2 for now, or just the other ones, and then just go up in rank quickly.
Okay.
I do a lot of one-on-one consulting as well with a lot of leaders here in PRIFE, where we go through their back office with their permission, obviously, and then we actually sketch out their actual like sponsor hierarchy, their placement hierarchy, and then we come up with a strategy that they need to do, who needs to do what in order to maximize money and ranking. So if anyone in this chat is interested, you guys can sit with me as well, and we can go through this. It's kind of hard to accidentally go up in rank because of this. It has to be like a strategized thing. And also another thing with the ranking is that for Future Star and One Star Manager, because it needs 1 calendar month, as a result, it has to be something that is strategized and done. Unless you're lucky and you have something like 5 bios going under one person, that's 10,000 PV, and another person buying like 5 pros, that's another 10,000 PV, and boom, you're like a 1-star manager. But if we're not that lucky, then we need to plan our luck. So that's where strategy planning comes in. Okay.
Cool.
I think I'm at the tail end of my presentation. Does anybody have any questions or comments or jokes or something cute you saw this morning? I saw 2 kingfishers and it made my day. They were just these cute birds flying around doing like a mating dance. So floor is open for questions, preferably PRIFE related, but I'll take anything at this point. Okay, let's see. Thank you for so much. Yes, my pleasure. This is recorded and will be uploaded very, very soon. I am I have taken charge, like for those of you in the Australia and New Zealand chat groups, as you have seen, I've taken charge of creating a marketing plan slash back office document that I hope would kind of like clarify everything I'm saying and put it into text, and it could be used as like a starting strategy for a lot of people. Um, so last week I described maintenance as something new that just started a few months ago when I first joined the company. I've since gotten some clarification on that. Kevin, if you're listening in, just on the maintenance thing. So what I found out is that, see, because I joined the company in May, and I remember in May they were talking about the new maintenance, and I thought that was when maintenance started, but unfortunately I was wrong. So maintenance as a concept, the concept of having to maintain and having that PV flushing if you don't, apparently started a
I
while
tell you
ago.
what, can I phone you back in 5 minutes?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. All right. Hey, Kevin. So the maintenance thing, like what I'm still trying to find out, I've been in touch with the head of IT now because like a lot of this happened before I joined the company. So I'm trying to do a little bit of digging to find out the exact date or month that the maintenance count started. Scott told me that I can just assume that maintenance started the day PRIFE started, but I'm also trying to get a clear answer on when the 6 month and 12-month count started. And what I have found out is that what was new a few months ago when I joined was not maintenance itself, just the new style of maintenance. Because apparently back in the past, you used to get like 10% from your first generation and 3% from your second generation or something like that, up to 10 generations or something. But now they've made it a flat 3%, but down 20 generations in maintenance. So that change in the maintenance calculation is what was new a few months ago when I joined. And I have been told unofficially by Scott to just think of maintenance as that 6 month, 12-month thing as something that started from the day someone joins PRIFE International. So if from the day that you have joined, from the day that your account start date is, if you have not done any maintenance for 6 months from that date, it means that your PV would be flushed because you like half of your PV would be flushed because Scott said that I could think of the first day of maintenance as the first day of PRIFE. So it has always been a feature in the thing. I am, out of my own personal curiosity, trying to find out some data on when exactly this became a thing, or if maintenance was a part of the price plan from the day they started. But remember last week we were talking about whether it would have been possible for that 6 month, 12-month count to have been started late because the maintenance thing was new. I've been told by Scott that that is not possible. So the whole 6 month, 12-month count starts from the day you started in PRIFE International. So what I am still trying to find out is more historic information about that out of curiosity. I also want to try to see if there is a way in the back office for you to see exactly how much you've lost out on. And I don't know the answers to these questions yet. I'm still trying to get in touch with like IT people and like figure this out. But I guess as a shorthand for everybody, log into your back office, take a look at the month that you have started in PRIFE International, because that start date is there. And if it is not 12 months yet or 6 months yet, and you have never maintain, and if it has been more than 12 months, I am still trying to figure out where we can see that the PV has flushed. I think it would be under placement hierarchy. When you click on each account, you can see like the accumulated PV that they have there. But that is something that I'm still trying to get a very clear answer on so I can prepare a document and have it sent out to the group as an official explainer on the maintenance thing. I think those kind of SOPs are something that we are sorely lacking in at the moment. with a lot of information being like from various different sources, and I'm trying to create like this single document on this. So I hope that helps. I know it may not be what you wanted to hear, but I hope that helps for now.
It helps that from what you've said, you're going to do further research. Now, I joined 15 months ago in June. I paid my maintenance pretty regularly, except a couple of times where I've forgotten about it for a week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now, there's a question there that I don't want you to answer until you do a session just on maintenance.
Okay.
When I rejoined, I haven't got my head around. When I joined after not having my maintenance paid for a week, how come I've got to pay for 2 months and not just 1 month? So that's a question on maintenance. But getting back to what we're talking about now, I've got some people that joined a year ago.
Okay.
Sorry, 13 months ago. Let's just say 13 months ago. Now, they got the wand and they've been using it, and they know I'm sort of doing the business. Now, I'm wanting to try and get them moving into the business.
Yeah.
If they have been paying maintenance over that 13 months for, let's say, 6 months, and I now show them that because you haven't paid for the last 6 months because there's been a cyclone in Hawke's Bay in New Zealand, sorry, you've now half of it's flushed. I'm going to have to hire a security guard to protect me. So, you know, it's
I get it.
confidence and loyalty to the downline. Why didn't you tell me 6 months ago? Is what I'm going to get back, and I'm going to say I only knew a week ago.
And so, that doesn't look great on you either.
Yeah, and it doesn't look great on the company, you know. So if you could take that upper level and say to the guy, look, is there a way around this? That where were we notified 6 months or 11 months or 13 months ago that it would be flushed, you know?
Yes.
So that, you know, that's the query and the request I've got to you. But Rosemary's going to add her 2 cents as well.
Well, before I get to Rosemary, maybe I can just drop in a couple things. So the thing with the maintenance is that it's not that you have to maintain every month, but you have to maintain at least once in 6 months. If you don't maintain for 6 months continuously, that's when you flush out half of the PV. And if you don't maintain for 12 months continuously, that's when you flush out on all of the PV. So if someone has been maintaining like on and off and on and off, and they have periods where they don't, like when they don't maintain, they don't get like the group pairing bonuses or whatever. But if they have maintained after that and they don't let it get to 6 continuous months of non-maintenance, then they wouldn't actually flush the PV. However, if someone joined the company 13 months ago and have not done anything since then, so what is flush if, let's say, for example, someone joins the company 13 months ago, and let's say their upline continues to sponsor people in like one leg underneath them. So they have like 100 levels in one leg underneath them. And 13 months later, they're like, oh my God, so much potential. I want to like get these 100 levels of level pairing, but they have not maintained their account since the day they started. It is that accumulated PV that flushes. And yes, the biggest problem with that is, so let's say now there's someone here, 13 months later, they look and they realize I have 100 levels on one side, right? And the first sponsor that they sponsor, they need to sponsor on the bottom left. So that will go down to level 101, right? In this example.
Yes.
But the second person that they sponsor, if they put it on level 1 on the right, there's no pairing there. And if they go down another level, there's no pairing. They got to clear these 100 levels before they get back to level 101, where there's a PV on the left, and that is waiting for them to pair, and then they'll get the level pairing. Usually for someone at that point, and I've met a couple of people like that even in Malaysia, I just tell them to start again, like just get a new account. What's gone is gone. Don't worry too much about it. Just start fresh. Because like otherwise they're gonna have to like clear these 100 levels and just not get level pairing. They might as well just ignore the whole thing, have a new account, and then just start building from there. But again, it's not ideal. Okay, Rosemary, on to you.
Completely different subject, but
okay, go for it.
Someone asked me this evening whether we can have the certificates. You know, the certificates are shown on the product. You know, there's about 16 certificates that are all shown on a piece of, you know, on a PowerPoint presentation. Is it possible to have access to those actually in our hot little hands so we can actually show people whatever they say? Because I can't read what they say. It just says, oh, well, these are the certificates. And we're expected to take them as read. And
yes.
I'd like to see what they say.
So I am not too sure where I can get the full set of reports. However, I remember this one presentation slide that our group general director, Mr. Victor, did, where he showed one page that was translated. I'm gonna see if I can get that and drop it in WhatsApp to you. I'm pretty sure I can get a copy of that. And I also try to see if I can get a copy of like the full certificates. You're talking about the ones from the Beijing Institute of Science, right? That did all the
actually,
testing and those.
Marianne's just jumped on. She's the one that asked. She specifically wanted to know the certificate with the terahertz.
Okay, Marianne, go ahead.
Yeah, Marianne, go for it, love.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, you know, the claim that the devices is emitting terahertz frequency. So where can we find that claim? Because everywhere I see, it's talking about terahertz frequency, as in it's good and it does this and it does that. But where can you find the claim that it's being emitted out of the PRIFE device that we are selling?
Yes, that's the reports that Rosemary was referring to, the testing reports done by the Beijing Institute of Science that are mostly shown in the Chinese copies, but I'll try to see if I can get an English copy for you as well. The thing with the terahertz emitter is that there is currently no, like, if you look at the way terahertz technology has evolved over the last 10 years, and even if you kind of ignore what PRIFE has to say about it and then just look at pure scientific papers dealing with terahertz and its use in therapy and like devices that like emitting terahertz and all of that, there is currently no like handheld independent detector outside of like laboratory conditions that can accurately detect and measure the amount of terahertz frequency coming out of each device. So a lot of our proofs lie in the certifications that was given to us by the manufacturer, including the certificates from the Beijing Institute of Science that verify that these devices are emitting terahertz frequency, because they were able to do the verification in a lab content because they have like lab size detectors. And that is the ones that I'm going to try to get an English copy of and share it with you. I will try to share it if you're in that Australia, New Zealand group, I'll share it in that group as soon as I get a copy of it. Is that okay?
Great. Yeah, it's just, you know, when we have a product made in China, we just have to kind of back it up with proof.
I mean, yes, true. But then again, if we have China as basically the world's manufacturer, I mean, I get where you're coming from, though. I will like get those things out for you. I'll try to get copies of those, but I don't think it is necessarily doubtful just because the product is made in China. But I get where you're coming from. I hope that answers your question, Marianne.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Right, wonderful. Thanks. All right. By the way, Kevin, happy birthday. I'm very happy to hear that you're getting phone calls from around the world. Everyone is Kevin Tinker's birthday.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Like, he sent me a message directly saying that it's his birthday and he's getting phone calls from around the world. So I hope he hears this happy birthday wish.
I'll tell him if he doesn't get
right,
back.
please do. Mimi, to answer your question. Okay, so this was a part of a question that Kevin asked earlier as well, and this is getting a bit too deep into maintenance, but I will answer this question. So, if you are currently maintained, if when you look in your back office and you look at your maintenance thing and it says the account active or maintained or whatever, it's green, and then at that point you were to maintain for the next month with an active account, you only need to maintain for you can just maintain for 1 month. So maintenance runs on calendar dates, right? So that month starts on the 1st and let's say it ends on the 31st. But if on the 31st you want to maintain for the next month, then you can just maintain for 1 month. However, if your account has gone into a point where it is no longer maintained and you check in the back and you see red, it's expired, it's not maintained, then for you to maintain your account again, you need to maintain your account for 2 months now. And the 2 months are the current month that you are maintaining from because your account is already not active and the month after that. So let's say, for example, let's say, for example, it is the 30th of September. And on the 30th of September, you are maintaining your account for October. You can just pay $30 and maintain your account for October. But let's say the date goes by another day and it's now the 1st of October and your account is now officially not maintained. For you to get it to be active again, you need to maintain for 2 months, October and November. And the 2 months are not two, and the 2 months are the 2 calendar months and not 60 days. So if you let your account continue to be unmaintained until the 31st of October, then you still have to maintain for 2 months, but now it's the rest of October and September and November. But if in that case you just allow your account to skip another month, so you've gone all of October unmaintained, and then you go into September, you still do the 2 months, and then you go into November, sorry. You still do 2 months, but the 2 months are November and December. So you don't have to backdate your maintenance. Let's say you're doing the whole maintain once every 6 months because you're not making group pairing thing. I mean, if you're making group pairing, if you maintain, then you're going to get the money back from group pairing. But if your group is not big in a way that gives you group pairing and you don't really care about it, and you go, let's say, 3 months without maintaining your account, and on the 4th month you maintain, you got to maintain for the 4th month and the 5th month. So that's the only difference. If your account is currently active, you can maintain for 1 month. If your account is not active, you need to maintain for that month and the month after that, $60 minimum. So I'm happy that clarification is clear, Mimi. Stephen, I don't think IT would be able to do that because different people have different maintenance schedules. Like some people maintain their accounts every month just by default. Some people don't maintain at all. Some people just became a member just to buy the device and they don't care about ranking or anything. This is something that we should be active and aware of and remind our downlines of. And like Mahiyet Atienza said, upon joining, you should be doing the maintenance because you can continue receiving a percentage of all the maintenance of your downlines and the bonuses. So yes, the percentage is 3% from every single person who maintains in your network. And the bonuses that you get by maintaining include group pairing and all the other bonuses. If you don't maintain, you still get sponsor bonus, sponsor product point, and level pairing. So you're welcome, Linda and Pearl. If you have 3 or more accounts, does it mean we have to start paying maintenance after 6 months? I mean, maintain once every 6 months at least to make sure that you don't flush, you don't lose any PV. But if you're making group pairing from that account, then maintain because you're making money. And if you don't maintain, you lose out on your group pairing. The replays can be found on PRIFE International's YouTube page, and I think I've caught up with all of the chats. So how are we doing? Are we ready to like close out this meeting? It's been almost a couple hours. Do we have any more questions? Grace, I must have missed your question, Grace. Let me get that. Oh yeah, certificate of authenticity for each product. Do you mean like an individual certificate proving that it is the original PRIFE product for each product? I think that's what you mean by a certificate of authenticity. Yes, a tiny card. Yeah, as of right now, at least in KL, we get like these little original stickers. I don't know if there are plans for like a authenticity card, but I really do see how that would add a lot of value. So some of these comments that you guys are giving me that I'm not able to give a clear answer to now, I am keeping track of them, and I will be like bringing it up in like meetings and stuff like that, and hoping to update you guys with the answer on it pretty soon. Yes, I agree. It's important, Grace. It is important for all of us to know that we are getting the original products from PRIFE International. And that is like the advantage of buying it through registered PRIFE members and the original stockists versus like random suppliers online to ensure that we get the original device. So yes, a lot of fakes, I agree. Yes, Grace, I agree. Thank you, Stephen. And thank you, Mr. Kai Kun Lam. I am happy to hear that you have enjoyed my presentation. So before we say goodbye to each other, and guys, next week, it's not going to be me, but like I'll be there. I'll be your MC. But Mr. Sam Lu, who is our main training guy, very, very, very cool guy. He's going to be doing a presentation titled How to Begin in PRIFE International. So this is a part of the new distributor orientation style programs where it's going to be very important for a lot of people who have just joined PRIFE International and they don't know how to start. How do you talk to people? Who do you talk to? How do you like have like a Facebook group, or how do you start to introduce this to people? How do you start? Like how do you even think of who to talk to about this? All of that stuff for brand new people. That's going to be happening next week from 4 to 5 p.m. I will put the topic in the New Zealand Australia group, but also, as was requested last week, I have made a poster with all of the titles in one poster, and you can also get the information from there. You guys saw the poster in your back office, right? I told IT to make sure it's posted globally.
Oh no, I didn't see that. So sorry, I know you want to go. Where in the back office is it?
No, I don't want to go that badly. So in the back office, when you log in, you get like this little pop-up of like posters and information and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It should be there.
Okay.
And I will admit that a lot of people are trained the moment the back office opens to just close the information thing and just scroll down and look at how much money they have in their wallet. I get it. But that info thing that pops up is also like the main source of updates of all events happening in from PRIFE. So when you log into the back office, try not to. So even for me, even now, sometimes I'm just so used to closing the info thing by default that my finger moves before my brain thinks.
Yeah.
And I would want to like see it, but I would have closed it by then. And yes, as Mahiet Atienza pointed out, you can also go back and see all the posters in the info tab in the back office, in the bottom right-ish corner. So yeah, do look in your back office because we have made a poster with the Zoom link and clearly stating what other titles are going to be. Next week is going to be Mr. Sam Lu with how to start. And then after that is going to be Dato Soma, who's going to be doing a special presentation on the iTerra BioLite and the Ion Shield. And the week after that is going to be our head of IT, Miss Joanna, who's going to be doing a specific back office training, essentially teaching you guys how to use the back office completely. So these are what we have planned as part of PRIFE 101. And I think this really fits in the theme of how we think of PRIFE 101 and these Monday afternoons as well. The afternoon for me, I mean. The idea being that we want to give you guys technical information, not just BOPs. Like in November, I am going to schedule our CTO, Mr. Nathan, to do an iTerraCare BOP at this time. It's the one that he does on Thursdays, but that always happens a bit too late for the New Zealand, Australia markets. So we're gonna try to like reschedule that, like do one of that on a Monday as well, so more people can join in. We're thinking of a lot more different kind of programs to offer all of you, and this constant support that we get, that I get from all of you, really means a lot to me. Thank you a lot for coming to these PRIFE 101 sessions. And
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so now I guess I'm getting ready to leave. And if you don't have any more questions, if you don't have any more comments or statements or jokes or observations, I will draw this meeting to an end. I saw you open your mouth, Rosemary. Looked like you had something to say.
Oh, you talked about the birds. I opened up my curtains the other day and I saw 3 white stags outside my window.
Ooh.
And then
Are
when
they
I
common?
went, because I live in rural, and then I went out to where they were, and let me just show you. Hang on.
Okay, now I'm excited.
Then I found this.
Oh wow. That is so cool.
They were rubbing their heads. One of them obviously rubbed off their antlers. Yeah. So that was pretty special, especially as they were white stags. I always think they're pretty special.
Exactly. I am pretty sure that's a good luck charm.
I think so too. Oh, and here he is. Here
Right.
he is.
Happy birthday, Kevin.
Kevin.
Okay. Well, since Kevin is here and Kevin heard our happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kevin. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Kevin. He's on the phone. He's on the phone. We'll let him be on the phone.
All right. Well, lovely. Thanks for a lovely call. And that was really great explanation of the ranking. I had no idea about all that. So yeah, it's good stuff.
All right. I'm happy you guys had a great time. See you guys again next week, Monday.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.